All right, let us start. So today we will be talking about logarithms in general. I touched a bit about it last session. So if you remember exponential equations, we would have something like 5 to the power of 2 is equal to 25, for example. All right. So this is an exponential equation or an indicial equation. All right. So it is in this form where it's a to the power of, let's just use colors, a to the power of n is equal to x. Okay. So this is the exponential form that we are usually dealing with. Now, we have something called log. Log is just a different way of solving exponential equations. It is usually used to solve exponential equations. So what does that mean? So how do we manage to solve equations? We will look at that now. So log, so this, if we want to rewrite it in log form, you could say, so the log, okay, of base a of x is equal to n, where n is the exponent, this is the exponent, or power, a is the base, and you could say x is the solution. Okay? So simply, that's what all of log is. The entire idea, the entire concept of log is it's basically a different way of solving exponential equations. So how do we use it? Now, let's take the same example here, the 5 squared equal to 25. So if we convert this into a log equation, it will be log of base 5 of solution 25 is equal to 2. That's it. That's the whole concept of log. The log is just a different way of solving exponential equations. All right. This is the whole concept. We have two types of like primary logarithmic functions, you could say. We have the normal log, which is just written as log of x, for example. This log is basically equal to saying log of base 10 of x. And then we have another one, which is usually known as ln, also known as the natural logarithm. All right. This ln is basically like ln of x is basically just log with the base of e. And e is just a natural, like it's a model constant, okay, which is equal to something like 2.712. It has been derived like through mathematical modeling and a lot of solving and all of that. What you need to know about this is just the way you write this is ln. When you write ln, it's basically log with a base of e of x. And that's all this means. All right. So you have two types of things. You have log by itself. If there's no number, that means it's log with a base of 10. And then you have ln, which is just simply log base e. That's it. All right. This e, you can see it in the calculator. I believe it's at the times 10 next to the answer at the bottom. If you do alpha there, you see the e. That is what the value of e is. It's just a constant, just like pi. It's like 2.718 something, 8, not 2, 8. And it's an irrational number. It never finishes. And this is the whole basis of log and ln, how you need to use it, like how to apply it and all of that. You just have to understand how to convert this into log or log into the exponential equation. Let's start with a simple like example. Let's just go into trying to convert basic log or basic exponential functions into log. All right. So if we look at 1, let's make this a bit bigger. Okay. So again, this is just the transformation. So again, if we look at this here, 5 to the power of 4 is equal to 625. If we want to write it in log form, we go log. The base is 5. So the base is 5. The solution is 625. so 625, is equal to the exponent, which is 4. All right? This is how you simply transform any exponential form, any exponential variable or function or equation into a logarithmic equation. All right? So if we do it the same thing for the rest, we'll go through this very quickly. Same idea, log of base 5, 40.52 is the solution, is equal to 2.3. And that's it. Same thing for the next one, log of base 2, this is our base 2, of 16 is equal to 4. Log of base 6 of 216 is equal to 3. Log of base 10 of 10,000 is equal to 4. And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. To make sense, right? So obviously this log base 10, this can be also just written simply as log 10,000. Because when you write log with no base, that is equal to the log of base 10, as we explained earlier. Okay? Same thing here for 7x. So again, log of base 7 of 49 is equal to x. So see here, we can solve this by simply putting log 749 in the calculator, and we will get the x value for it directly. So this is how you would solve an exponential equation. This is the whole concept of why we use log. We will be given x in the term of a power equal to a solution. You will do the log of the solution with the same base, and then you will be able to solve. All right. Now, for e, it's the same exact thing. Log of base e of 148.4 is equal to 5. All right. So another way of writing this is because log e is simply the natural logarithm ln of 148.4 is equal to 5. The same thing with the next one. We could directly just say, because it's e, we know that ln 34 is equal to x. Ln 1000 is equal to x. Now, if we want to do the reverse, the inverse, exact same thing. You need to just remember that this is your base, the 3. This is 81, the solution. And this is your exponent. So we know that the base is 3. The power is 4, or the exponent. And it's equal to the solution, which is 81. All right, so you can move back and forth from log to exponential. You can do the same thing for the rest. Base 3 power x equal 85. Base 7 power 5 equals 16807. Base 10 power 3 is equal to 100. Base, in this case, because there is nothing next to the log, base 10, because log is equal to log base 10. Okay, so when you see that there is nothing in the base, that means it's the same as saying base 10. All right, so log base 10 power 1.763 is equal to 58. Ln, again, ln is nothing but log base e. So we can say e power 9, power 2.197 is equal to 9. Again, e power 4 is nothing but 54.598. Does this make sense? So in the exam, we write log or ln. It depends. It depends on the question, and I will be more clear about how when you will be using all of this. Now, when we do more solving, you will see how to actually use ln and log. Usually, you can use both interchangeable. تقدروا تستخدموا natural، تقدروا تستخدموا log. You can use natural logarithm, the ln, or log. when it comes to solving, but I will show you specifically when. In this case, you have to use it based on what's given, based on what the base of your equation is, based on what the exponent is, based on what the solution is. So the log will always depend on the base. It will always be log when you are trying to convert from this, from an exponential equation into a logarithmic. You will always be using log, except in the case when you have e. But you will see later on when we can use ln or log depending on the solution or depending on solving, and we will get into that. Any questions about this? For question 9 and 10, there is no bases. There is a base. Ln, we're using ln. Ln is simply equal to log e. So you don't have to write log e when you have the base of e. You could just write ln directly. Okay? So they do have a base, but there's a different notation. يعني كتابته. You could write it in a different way. That's it. No, you will not. This is not correct. This is ln base e does not exist. Does not exist. Okay? Ln is by itself. Ln already means log base e. That's all that ln means. Right? Any questions about this concept? I think it's pretty straightforward. So we can move on to solving some more interesting equations. Before solving equations, let's look over the rules for logarithms. All right? The rules for logarithms. So let's start by reminding ourselves of the rules of exponents. This is all derived from the rules of exponents. So let's say we have log of b1 is equal to 0. Why is this? If we want to write this in exponential form, the same exact concept. This is the base. This is the solution. Sorry, this is the exponent. And this is the solution. صح ولا لا? All right. So if we write it in this form, in n power n is equal to x. If we want to write this in this form, what will it be? It will be b to the power of 0 is equal to, what is b power of 0 equal to? What is any number to the power of 0 equal to? It's equal to 1. صح ولا لا? It's equal to 1. So because of this rule, and which we explained in the last session, the same thing applies for log in its own way. So log of any base of 1 is always equal to 0. So log 10 or log 15, for example, okay, of 1 is equal to 0. Ln of 1 is equal to 0. Log of 25 of 1 is equal to 0. Okay? So this is the whole concept of, this is the first rule, I should say, of logarithms. Now, log of base of the base. So, log of b is equal to 1. Why is this? If we go to our exponent, if we do this into exponential form, this is simply saying b to the power of 1 is equal to b. Isn't that correct? B to the power of 1 is equal to b. That is true. That is why the log of any number with its base, like the number is equal to the base, that is always going to be equal to 1. Now, this is where it gets very important to understand. So if we have log x and y, okay. So log of bx plus log of by. This is going to become multiplication. The plus over here will turn into multiplication inside. So we can group it up, log of b, x times y. All right, this is a very important rule in logarithmics, or the rules of logarithms in general. Why do we turn it into multiplication? Why does this become multiplication? First of all, the first thing you need to know is the bases, they have to be the same. If they're different bases, you cannot use this rule. The same exact idea in exponential. You can only use the rules if they have the same base. So if we convert both of these, all right, if we convert both of these into exponential equations, let's do that. So equal to, let's start with this one. So it's log the log, let's call the solution of this n, for example, okay? Let's call the solution of this n and the solution of this m. And then just to simplify it a little bit. So it's going to be basically b to the power of n, and then b to the power of n plus صح ولا b to the power of n? Yeah, b to the power of n plus b or y, sorry, b to the power of m is equal to b to the power of, this is xy. Actually, I don't want to do this. It will be very confusing because if I derive this, it's going to be very long. I want you guys just to understand one thing. I need you guys just to understand one thing. When we have addition in between, all right, when we have addition in between, it will turn into multiplication in the case of log. Because remember when we had, like if we have the same base, b to the power of n times b to the power of m, it is going to become b to the power of n plus m. We are adding here. This turns into addition. In log, it is the opposite. The addition turns into multiplication. That is the whole concept I need you guys to understand, okay? So this is for the bottom one is for the law of exponents. The top one is for the law of logarithms, all right? It's the same exact concept, but it's just reversed. Tamam? Now, if we move on, we have the exact same thing with minus. Exact same concept. So log bx minus log by. Tamam? This is equal to log of the same base of x divided by y. So what happens here? The minus will turn into division. If you remember in an exponential, it is the opposite. So we have division and it will turn into minus. This will turn into minus. All right? So b to the power of n minus m. Okay? So for logarithms, when you have subtraction between two logs of the same base, this is very important, of the same base. Okay? If we have subtraction, it turns into division inside like the same logarithmic with the same base. And in the case of exponentials, you do minus like we did yesterday. This seems really confusing now at this point, but with practice, you will understand it and get more familiar with it. You can solve it with shift calc. Again, you can solve it with shift calc, but I will show you questions that you will not be able to solve using calculators. You will have to, because it's all in variables. So يعني obviously I will always recommend if you can solve it with the calculator, which I will show you in a bit. I will always use the calculator to solve. It will save you a lot of time, but you just have to know how to use the calculator. All right? Now, we're done with this. We're done with this x times y and x divided by y when it's plus and minus. So again, this becomes multiplication because there's a plus. And when it's a minus, it becomes division. Okay? And the last and most, I think, important rule, all right? Most important rule is this one. This is what helps you solve directly without having to do this conversion and, make mistakes. So what this is basically the log of b x to the power of k. So the x itself is to the power of k. This is going to be equal to k times log of b of the same base of x. What does this mean? You can take this power inside the log of any value and take it outside and multiply it over here. That's all what this means. This is a very critical thing to know in logarithms and solving logarithms in general, because this is how you will be able to manage to quickly find, especially when you have a long equation, how quickly simplify the equation and not have any powers anywhere in your exponents. And we will see examples of that in a bit. All right. So obviously, this rule you can go backwards as well, and you can take the k and make it a power. Let me give you an example. So let's say we have the log 3 of 20 to the power of 17. You can take this 17 because it's a power inside the log and take it outside and multiply. This is one of the rules of log. So it will become 17 times log base 3, 20. All right? Does this make sense? Again, you can do the same thing in reverse order. So let's say we have 3 log of base 5 of 9. Okay? We can take this 3 and make it into a power over here. All right? We can change it into a power. So this will become log of base 5, 9 to the power of 3. Okay? So to clarify this point a little bit more, okay, we know how to solve a normal log now. Like if I give you log of base, let's make it simple, of base 2, all right, 8. This is going to be equal to 3, all right? Why? How do I know this? If we write this in exponential form, 2 to the power of 3 will give me 8. صح ولا لا? Now, what is the concept I'm trying to explain here? So we know that 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 8. So if I'm going to rewrite this, I'm going to rewrite log base 2, 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 3. Okay? And I want to take this power out. If I take this power out, we will get 3 log base 2, 2 is equal to 3. صح ولا لا? Based on the rule. If you notice, the log of anything of itself, what was the rule? The log of b, of a base b to b, is always equal to 1. So the log of 2, 2 is going to be equal to 1. Log of 2, 2 is equal to 1. So 3 times 1 is equal to 3. So 3 is equal to 3, which is correct, which makes sense. This is the proof of how you can remove the power from inside and take it to the outside in any case of log. Again, I want to just highlight this point. When you have a logarithm with a base and the solution to a power, this power you can remove it and take it outside and multiply it with the entire log. In this case, the k would stick outside. It became k times log of the base b x. This might seem confusing at first, but with practice, you will get a better hang of it. You will understand it. And now when we solve problems, you will see more and more and more, like to make more and more sense. Another important point I need all of you to know as well. I'm saying log, right? I'm saying log all the time. These laws all will apply to ln as well, because ln is simply just log of base e. So it's the exact same concept. It's the exact same concept. So anything I am applying to log, everything will be applied to ln as well. All these rules that we have learned here, all of them apply to e as well. All right? So I want to ask you guys a question now, and I want to see your level of understanding. I want to tell me, without cheating, inshallah, yani, what is ln e equal to? What is ln e equal to? Please don't use a calculator. You guys should have understood the concept. You should have understood from the rules that I have seen right now. If we have seen, ln e is basically log e base e of e. صح, log base e of e. إنزين. So what does the base, when the base and the number are equal, what is the answer of that? When we have the base equal to the number, what is the answer of that? Exactly, it is 1. It is 1. If we transform this into exponential, we're saying e to the power of 1 is equal to e. All right? So ln e is simply equal to 1. Then, what is ln of 1 equal to? يلا نشوف how many people will be able to solve this. 0. Anything to the any ln of anyone or log of anyone is equal to 0. Yes, look, Muhammad, you should not, يعني, you can, it's not wrong, you convert it into log e, but you should understand instantly that ln is basically the same as log e. You do not have to write it in the solution. All right? And it's not log base e equal 1. It's log base e of 1. Okay? Someone asked, what about ln to the power of 2e? What do you mean, يعني ln e squared today, يعني? Is this what you're asking, Hassan? Okay. Tell me, guys, how will we find what is 2? Yalla. You guys, I want you guys to think about it. Remember the rules that we have. The first rule, when we see a power inside, that's the first thing we want to do is get rid of that power. Every time. Okay? So we will do 2 times over here and remove the 2 from here. So we were going to get 2 ln e. Now, what is ln e? What is ln e, everyone? Yalla, in chat. What is ln e? Everyone should know this by now. What is ln e? Ln e is 1, exactly. 2 times 1. So it's simply equal to 2. Let's say ln e power 3. Instantly, I want the final answer, guys. Instantly, الحين. What is ln e power 3? What's the answer of this? 3. There you go. That is the whole idea, the whole concept of like the base. All right? So it is going to just be this instant solution. You know it because we have the same base. Ln is basically log e power 3. We know log e becomes 1 and the 3 will go out. You have to instantly be able to see this. All right. Ln al-hasba is right next to the log. يعني if you have your on button, if this is your calculator, okay, هذه الشاشة فوق انزين عندكم ال on button هني عندكم هني log بعدين عندكم ln وعندكم log هني. Then this is log to the يعني of specific numbers that you can use. This is just normal log and this is natural logarithm. Okay. Now let us get the second rule. Which second rule? Do you mean this one, the power? This 3? This one? SI, is this what you're asking about? From here, which rule are you talking about from this one? The second rule over here? Log B. Okay. Again, the log of 3 is going to be equal to 1. Always. Why is this true? Because if you want to convert this into exponential form, then this is our base 3. This is our solution 3. So it's equal to 3. And this is our power 1. It makes sense, la? Always if the power of is 1, يعني if the bases is equal to the solution, the power has to be equal to 1. Always. For any number. For log of 10, it's going to be equal to 1. Log 15 of 15 is going to be equal to 1. Ln of e is equal to 1. لأن remember, ln is just simply log base e. Does that make sense? Not the base and the power, the base and the solution. Remember, this is our base. This is the solution. And this is the power. Okay? So if the base and the solution, okay, are equal, then the power will be always 1. Tamam? Let's go into solving actual questions so you guys can get a better hang and a better idea of all of this. Let's see, which one should I start with? خلينا نبدأ ويا هذيل, a bit more straightforward. Look, when it comes to log in general, it's just practice. بصراحة يعني most of it is practice. You guys, I'm pretty sure most of you understand the basic concept. But when you're looking at the question, you're like, how should I solve this? That comes with practice. إنزين? So, again, how do we solve this? How do we solve a logarithmic equation? Simple, very simple. So what do we know? We know that this, if we want to find the equivalent of it in what's it called? In exponential form. This is going to be equal to the base of 5 to the power of 3.5 is equal to x minus 3. Plug this into the calculator and solve for x. Easy, la? It looks so complicated here, and you're like, why is there x? Why is there minus 3? ما يبالي شيء. You just need to understand that how to transform the log into the into the exponential form, and you will be able to solve very easily. تمام? Same thing here. Okay, if we want to solve this very quickly, so 5 to the power of 3.5, okay, that is going to be equal to 279.508 equal to x minus 3. And in 3, you take it to the other side. We see x is equal to this plus 3, which is 282.508. That's it. Okay? See, يعني for example here, you could use the calculator, I believe, with calc. I'm pretty sure you can use calc to solve this. Most of these, I believe, you can use calc to solve, but it's better to understand it because later on you'll see questions where you have variables and you don't have actual numbers. And we will see more of those. Again, same thing here. We have log x30 is equal to 0.4. So the base of 30, okay, is equal to, sorry, the base of x to the power of 0.4 is equal to 30. صح ولا لا? Now, this is where the rules of logarithms will help you. This is very important. Pay attention. I will try to take it very slow because I know people will get confused. إنزين? So, everyone understood how I got x to the power of 0.4 is equal to 30. لا? This is the base. So this is the base. This is our solution. So this is our solution. And this is our power. Okay? Very simple. Now, how can I solve an exponential equation? To solve an exponential equation, just 1 second, I'm getting a phone call. Just 1 second, I'm so sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. So how do we solve an exponential equation? We use the logarithm again. So first step we did was we transform this into exponential, so we understand what we're dealing with. Now we can apply ln or log to both sides. Ln of this and ln of this. Okay, we are applying ln. How do you know you should apply ln? Anytime you have a base x or even a power of x, just keep in mind, if you see any exponential question where it's one of them is a variable, you know you have to apply ln to solve. Okay? So when we apply ln, this is what we get, right? Ln x 0.4 is equal to ln 30. Ln 30 in the calculator, you can find it instantly. So it's just a constant. We don't worry about that. But let's look at the left side. When we have a power, what did I say we do with the power in ln? We take it outside. صح ولا لا؟ and multiply, and we can cancel it from here. So we will get 0.4 ln of x is equal to ln 30. صح? So ln of x is equal to ln of 30 divided by 0.4. This will give you a number in the calculator, but we still have ln of x on the other side. So let's solve first of all ln x, ln 30 divided by 0.4. This is going to give us, so ln of x is equal to 8.503. What do we have here? We have a basic ln equation. Again, we have a solution, we have the ln, and we have the base. So how do we do this? What we do is, again, what is ln x? Ln x is simply just log e of x. I just want to write this so you guys don't get confused. You don't have to actually write the step. If we transform this into an exponential, if you have to transform this into an exponential, how do we do that? We write, this is our solution, this is our power, صح ولا لا? So we have the base, again, base, solution, power. So this is simply e, which is the base, to the power of 8.503 is equal to x. And that's it. And that's it. It's very straightforward. This is the concept I need you guys to understand. This is obviously E is in the calculator. You could just write this in the calculator. It's alpha. You know where pi is? It's the same button as pi. Alpha, but you have to click alpha instead of shift. And then you just put a power, 8.503. And x is simply equal to 4929.535. That's it. Okay. Before I go into more questions, I want you guys to ask your questions right now so I understand if you have understood this concept, what you got confused with. We will do more questions that are similar, inshallah. Yani there are so many different types of questions we can do. And there is a very quick shortcut. This is just the theory behind it. It will become math error Hassan if you do a negative. You cannot do a negative for log. Log, any number that is equal to 0 or less than 0. So yani log of 0 or less than 0 or log of a negative number will give you a math error. So make sure you're not dealing with negatives because it's not possible for a log or ln to be 0 or negative. Exactly, undefined. Let me just do a quick recap again. I'm going to go a bit slower. I want you guys to understand this concept لأن this is just an example of solving. فعندنا إحنا هني base x صح ولا لا؟ We have solution 30 and we have exponent 0.4. So if I write this in exponential form, it's going to be x to the power of 0.4 is equal to 30. All right. How can we do this? There is a shortcut from this step, by the way, in the calculator that you can solve, but I'm using this just to show you like the appropriate way of solving. يعني how you can solve it just using the rules. زين? So we have in this case an exponent. Anytime we have any variable with a power, زين? Just know when you see this, or when you see 5 to the power of x or x to the power of 5, anytime you see anything like this, keep in mind that you have to use ln or log على راحتكم زين to solve. You have to apply ln or log to solve. Any exponential question you have, use ln or log to solve. Let's apply ln again to both sides. So x to the power of 0.4 is equal to ln of 30. Anything you do to the left, you have to do to the right of the equation. Okay? The rules of logarithms tells us that we can take this 0.4 outside and multiply it. So let's do that. So 0.4 times ln x is equal to ln of 30. Tamam? We will divide both sides by 0.4. 0.4. So ln, this 0.4 and 0.4 will cancel. Ln of x is equal to ln of 30 over 0.4. Since these are all numbers, we can put it in a calculator and find the value. So ln of x is equal to ln 30 divided by 0.4 is equal to 8.503. Tamam? Again, what does this mean? Ln of x is basically saying ln is log e power x. Log base e solution x is equal to the power of 8.503. Again, this is our power, this is our base, and this is our solution. So if we rewrite this, it is going to be e to the power of 8.503 is equal to x. You can choose either ln or log in this case. Remember, someone asked earlier, I think another Hassan also asked, this is where you get to choose whether you want to solve with ln or log. It doesn't matter. احنا as engineers, or أنا as an engineer, I'm so used to using ln, I just use ln all the time because we use it for everything. But you can use log to solve as well. It is the exact same solution. The only thing that will change is at the end step, instead of having log base e, you will have the normal log, which is base 10 of x. Okay? And also the value here will change. The value here will change because this is ln of 30, but you will have log of 30. Okay? So you can use ln or log على راحتكم, whichever you prefer. Both will give the exact same solution at the end. تمام؟ Now, تبون شوي تكرهوني؟ شوي بس تكرهوني, not too much يعني, just a little bit. So the same question, I'm going to solve it again. زين, very quickly. You obviously know how we got this now. زين, you know how we got the x power 0.4 is equal to 30. زين, what can you do directly here? You can simply just do root of 0.4 on both sides, وانتهى الموضوع, and you found your answer. So this will basically be equal to, because this is the same as this, they cancel out. If you remember from yesterday, if we have root of x squared, these cancel out, and this is equal to x. Why? Because this is simply saying x to the power of 2 over 2. صح ولا لا? So if we have x to the power of 0.4, if we do the 0.4th root of it, this is equal to x to the power of 0.4 divided by 0.4, which is equal to x. صح ولا لا? So you could just do that in one step instead of doing all this mess. You could do x is equal to 0.4 of 30. Put this in the calculator and you'll get the same answer. In the calculator, to do this, there is, do you know the power button? The button that looks like this, x power. This button over here. If you shift click that one, you will get to choose whatever power you want here and whatever value you want here. So you can put 0.4 and you can put 30, and the answer will be 4929.5, and that's it. زين? So this shortcut you can use in the exam to solve questions like this. طبعا if you don't know how to use the calc or whatever. زين? Now, I hope this didn't confuse you more. زين? This is just a different way of solving. There are so many different ways you can solve. You still need to understand the concept of solving here, because now when you see that we have variables, it is going to be a bit more messy. زين? Let's just keep on solving until يعني, you guys get a better idea of it. Log 7. Okay, guys, I want you guys to tell me what the base here is, what the solution here is, and what the power here is. I want the base, Give me the base. Tell me what the base is first. What is the base? 7. What is the power? What is the power? X minus 3. صح. And the solution is 200. إنزين? If you guys understand this concept, it will be always super easy for you guys to solve exponential or logarithmic equations. Okay? So now we know the base is 7. We know the power is x minus 3. And the solution is 200. Hello? And now here, للأسف, you cannot use the shortcut I showed you. You have to use len on both sides. Let's do log this time. عشان بس you see how it works. It's the exact same thing. Log or log. Log. We can take the power of it, the full power x minus 3, and take it outside and multiply. So it's going to be x minus 3 times log of 7 is equal to log of 200. This one is much simpler. Why? Because we can just divide both sides by log 7. So it cancels here. And this will be log 7. Okay? This will become x minus 3 is equal to log 200 over log 7. We take the minus 3 to the other side. So x will be equal to log 200 over log 7 plus 3. Put all of that in the calculator and you have your answer for x. Easy ولا صعب? Easy? Everyone understands the concept now? Okay, excellent. عشان I want to start solving a bit more يعني complicated ones using the other rules. إنزين. Let me just find the solution here. This is 5.723. Okay? Make sure are you sure you did correctly? Remember, we are using log, not len. If you are using len, يعني make sure they're both len or they're both log. It doesn't matter as long as they're both len or both log. So log 200 divided by log of 7 plus 3 and يطلع لي 5.722 or 5.723. Now, let's move on. I'm not going to do D and E. They're pretty straightforward, the same exact concepts. I want to start solving these. What are these? These are easy. بنرجع لهم بعدين if we have to. This is what I want to start solving. So the question says express each of the following questions in the form of log an. يعني بما معناه يبونا we write it in one equation only. First thing we check the base. The base. Are they the same base? Yes. Log A4 plus log A7. Okay, so they have the same base. So we can apply the rules of logarithms. What does the plus become? Multiplication. So this is going to be equal to log of base A 4 times 7. That's it. You are multiplying this number with this number. Okay? Simple. Very easy. 4 times 7, put it in calculator, not that you need to, 28. If it isn't the same base, you cannot solve it. Simple. There is no rule to solve it that way. You can try messing around and changing it to exponent form and all of that, but بعد you won't be able to solve it. So it's not undefined. يعني it's solvable, but not you cannot simplify it. That's what I should say. يعني it's not simplifiable. زين؟ يعني this is the simplest form. يعني مثلا إذا قلت لكم log 3x plus أو log مو 3x log x3 plus log y3 زين. This is in its simplest form. You cannot simplify this more than this. You can transform it تقدرون تغيرون exponential بس this is in its simplest form. تمام؟ يعني it's not a solution. We don't have a value. We don't have an equal sign to solve. That's the idea. زين. Very simple. 4 times 7. So log this is equal to log A 28. بس انتهى الموضوع. AN. That's how it's the form. Same exact thing with the rest. exact same concept. Let's just bring them all here from now. زين. Base A. Let's look at this. And B. We have minus. First of all, what's the first step? Check the base. Is it same base? Yes. What do we have? We have minus. Minus becomes division. Simple. So we have log. This is equal to log of the same base A, 10 over 5. That's it. So it's equal to log base A of 2. Hello? Moving on. Here. What do we have here? We have 2 on the outside. What does the question want? It does not want anything outside. It wants just log AN. فهني we have the 2 on the outside. Remember the rule of 2? What can we do? We can take it inside as a power. So we could rewrite this as log A 6 to the power of 2, which is log A 6 times 6 is 36, or 6 squared. You understood what I did here, La? Instead of taking the power out, I am just putting the multiplication back as a power. All right? Is this concept clear? Let's move on. So we have log, first of all, is it same base? Same base. Perfect. This is equal to, we have what we have minus, this becomes division. Log base A, 9 divided by 1 over 3. Then, so log of A is equal to 27. Come on. Obviously, just put this in the calculator and it will solve it for you. Same exact concept again. Now, plus becomes multiplication because they are the same bases. But before you start doing that, let us convert these into one term with power and this into one term with power. Okay? The half log A, we will take this and make it a power, and we'll take this too and make it a power هني. Then that should always be your first step to make sure the log has no coefficients so you can simplify it easier. This is going to be equal to log A 25 to the power of half plus log A 3 to the power of 2. If I want to further simplify this, this is log A 5 plus, because this is square root of 25, which is 5, plus log A 3 squared is 9. Then you can use your calculator. If this gets too confusing, it's fine in these cases. This is equal to, now we can go and check same base. Yes, plus becomes multiplication. It becomes log A 5 times 9 log of A 45. Clear? Last one. You have multiple things. The first step is always make sure there's no coefficient. This one is okay. This one is fine. But this one, we have a 3 out here. This 3, we will take it and make it a power. This one, we have a half. We'll take it and make it a power. And then, so this is going to be equal to log A 48 minus log A 2 to the power of 3 minus log A 9 to the power of half. Simplifying this is log A 48 minus log A 2 to the power 3 is 8 minus log A 9 to the power of half is 3. Square root of 9 is 3. Now, we can either do it in one step or multiple steps, whichever is more comfortable for you guys. We all have A same base, so we can apply the rules. This becomes division, and this also becomes division. And then, so let's do it step by step. So log A 48 divided by 8. minus log of A3 عشان ما تتخربطون ويا الdivisions. إنزين. So this is equal to 48 divided by 8 is 6. Oops. Log A of 6 minus log A of 3. Again, this will turn into division. Equal to log A of 6 divided by 3 log A2. تمام؟ Is it clear? Any questions? I know I'm going a bit fast, but if you have a question, you can stop me عادي. You can ask. ما بعصب. If it's clear, I want all of you to write in chat, this is clear. This is a very important concept. This is going to be almost 50% of your exam. So I need to make sure everyone understands this. حلو. إنزين, is it easy? I hope it's easy. Nah. Hassan, 2C in worksheet 2 of week 14? Or a previous week? Yes, you guys definitely need to practice. Worksheet 2C. Can you share the question? Let's solve it together. عشان I see what the issue is. Maybe people will learn from it before I move on here. And I have worksheet 2. Let me just check. I think I have it open somewhere. Teacher worksheet 2C. Yeah, I found it. This one, la. إنزين. Let's solve this one before I move on. The following equation, you solve the following equation using your calculator. Give your answer to 3 significant figures. We will do the exact same things we did before. Let's do A and then we'll do C. So, what do we have to apply? What's the first rule when you see x to the power of 3 or 3 to the power of x is equal to something? First rule, apply log or len. Choose which one. I personally prefer len. It really does not matter. إنزين. But make sure you are consistent. I will go with len of 3x, 3 to the power x, is equal to len of 12. تمام? We take the x outside and multiply it. So it's going to be x times len of 3 is equal to len of 12. Very easy, just as we did earlier. Divide both sides by len of 3 to cancel out the len of 3 on this side. And we will be left with x is equal to len of 12 divided by len of 3. Put it in the calculator. Len 12 divided by len 3. It's going to give 2.262. Actually, it's not going to give that. It's going to give 2.26. 1.859.507. Why am I writing it in this way? Give your answer to 3 significant figures. All right? What does 3 significant figures mean? You should know this by now. 3 significant figures means you have to have 3 numbers in total. So if we look at this, we have 1, 2, 3. We have to stop here. We look at this number. It's less than 5. We do nothing here. So this is going to be equal to 2.26. 3 significant figures, not 3 decimal places. Remember the difference. Significant figures means the number, يعني كل الأرقام, all of the numbers that are there should be 3 in total. Decimal places means how many numbers after the decimal point. Keep that in mind. إنزين? Very easy. Just one more extra point. You see here, I did len 12 over len 3. If you guys want to try right now, do log 12 over log 3. You will see you get the exact same answer. The exact same answer. So you can use len or log and it will be the same. Let's move on to this question. Exact same thing. Nothing new. Ln of 8 to the power of minus y is equal to ln of 3. We have minus y. Minus y, we will take it outside. I'll always take it with the sign. So minus y times ln of 8 is equal to ln of 3. Minus y, or so we could divide both sides just by ln 8. Ln 8. Ln 8. Ln 8 and ln 8 will cancel. Minus y is equal to ln of 3 over ln of 8. What we can do is now divide both sides or multiply both sides by minus 1 عشان we get rid of the minus. زين. So the minus and minus will cancel here. We will get y is equal to minus ln of 3 over ln of 8. Keep in mind, this minus should be on the outside. You can never have ln of minus 3. This is math error. Then it is undefinable getting the ln of 0 or a number less than 0. Okay? And that's it. That's how you find it. And now I found y. Very simple, very easy. You got it, Hassan? So let me just find the actual. We just multiply by minus 1. You could just, if you have minus x is equal to 5, okay? If you multiply both sides by minus 1, the minuses will cancel because you're going to have minus x times minus 1 is equal to 5 times minus 1. If we simplify this, minus times minus becomes plus. X times 1 is x, is equal to plus 5 times minus becomes minus. 5 times 1 is 5. That's it. That's all I did. That's how you multiply. Okay? You can flip the minus in any way. You can divide by minus 1. You want, look, Hassan, you want to find y by itself. You don't want to find the solution of minus y. So if you have minus y is equal to a number, okay? This isn't your final answer. You want I by itself. You want to remove the minus. All right? You want to remove the minus. So to remove the minus, this is why we multiply by minus 1. It's to remove the minus. Does that make sense? لأن you want your final solution to just be y. y بروحها. ما تبغى minus y. Okay? So you always want to get rid of the minus. The same concept, like if you have 3y, you don't want to find the solution of 3y. That's why you divide by 3 on both sides. Always you'll be using minus 1 because when you multiply or divide by 1, it does not change the equation. In the case if you have minus 3y is equal to 9, for example. In this case, you can directly divide by minus 3 and it will cancel the minus. Directly. But when you have minus y, if it makes it easier for you, this is simply saying you have minus 1y. So what can you do? You can write minus 1y, for example, is equal to 20, okay? Minus 1y is equal to 20. Divide both sides by minus 1 if it makes it simpler for you to understand. You will cancel the minus 1 with the minus 1. You will be left with y is equal to 20 over minus 1, which is minus 20. All right? Now, let's move on. I didn't find the solution here. It's going to be ln 3 divided by ln 8. It's minus 0.528. تمام? Let's go into these questions. I think I'm going to do this as the last questions. Everything else is, I think I covered the concepts of how to solve. And then we'll take a small break and then we will start with solving the finals or the revision for the finals for sequences and logs. Now, log 3x. Log 3x plus log 3.5 is equal to log 3 2x plus 3. Again, don't let this scare you at all. Step by step. First thing, check. Bases are all the same. They're all three. Hello. We can apply the solving methods that we have learned, the rules of logarithms. We can use them all. So, log 3x plus log 3, 5 is equal to log 3 of 2x plus 3. طبعا, I'm pretty sure if you know how to use the calculator and use calc and solve, you can just solve this in the calculator directly. But you need to understand the concept. So I'm going to go through the concepts here as well. Log 3, this is base 3. This is base 3. They're all the same bases. This is plus, this becomes multiplication. صح ولا لا? But before that, actually, before that, when solving for x in this case, we want to group all the logs that have x onto one side. Okay? Remember how we used to solve normal like linear equations when we have x plus 2 is equal to 3x minus 5. What do we do here? We try to group all the x's on one side and all the coefficients on the other side. The exact same concept will be done here. إحنا, we will go and group all the x's. So log 3x, we will take this to the other side. It's plus here, so it will become minus log 3 of 2x plus 3 plus log 3, 5 is equal to 0. And then, now, we grouped all the x's together. Perfect. Let's do, they have the same bases. We have minus. Minus will become division. All right? The minus will become division. So, log, if we simplify this, log of 3x divided by 2x plus 3 is plus log of 3, 5 is equal to 0. تمام؟ طبعا, there are multiple different ways of solving this. We can combine the 5 and bring it here. بس أنا my personal يعني preference, I like to do it this way. I will take the log 3 to يعني 3 base 5 to the other side. So you will have log 3 x over 2x plus 3 is equal to 0 minus log 3, 5. تمام? Now keep one thing in mind here. Keep one thing in mind. The minus over here, then if يعني we could just not look at the 0. The minus over here, do not leave it outside. This you will have to take it inside. How do you do that? This is basically saying minus 1. صح ولا لا? So this is simply saying this is equal to, so minus log 3, 5 is equal to minus 1 times log 3, 5. So we will take this minus 1 up into the power. So we will have log 3, 5 to the power of minus 1. Log any number to the power of minus 1 is simply what? This is equal to log 3 of 1 over 5, if you remember from our previous session. Okay? If we have a minus, that means you are just going to divide. You're going to put it in the denominator. Always make sure when you're solving for log, you like all the minuses and pluses. Yani if there's only just by itself, if you're not adding 2 logs or subtracting 2 logs, make sure it's a positive number. Why do I say this? Because now you will see. So we have log 3x over 2x plus 3 is equal to log 3, 1 over 5. Just simply this number, okay? Log 1 over 5. We have log 3 on both sides. Log 3 on both sides mean we can cancel them directly. Why is that? لأن logically log 3 يعني for example of 20 زين has to be equal to log 3 of 20. صح ولا لا? these have to be equal. These numbers inside, they have to be equal عشان this equation is correct. So you can simply think of it as simply you can cancel the logs of the same base directly, and we can start solving the equation as if it's a normal equation. So x over 2x plus 3 is equal to 1 over 5. You can cross multiply over here to make it easier. So x times 5 is equal to 1 times 2x plus 3. Then so 5x is equal to 2x plus 3. Then a 1 times, if you distribute 1 multiplied by anything is just the number itself. Take the x's to one side. 5x minus 2x is equal to 3. 3x is equal to 3. Divide both sides by 3. 3's here will cancel. Therefore, x is equal to 3 over 3. X is equal to 1. You want to check? Plug in 1 back into the main equation and see if you get the same answer or not. يعني plug 1 here and plug 1 here. Alhamdulillah على نعمة الcalculator. Yes, you can do this all in the calculator, I believe, using solve or the calc. Okay, so يعني if you know how to do that, good for you. I personally يعني don't use that ever, so I'm not sure how to use it. والله للأسف Abdullah, I'm not exactly sure how to use it. If I do figure it out eventually, maybe I'll let you know. But you can watch any YouTube video. I'm pretty sure they're going to show you directly how to do it. Again, it is important for you guys to know the concepts, because especially if there are students that will be going into engineering, in Math 1 for engineering, you're going to have to do it all on paper, showing steps. No such thing as just final answer. Then, for you guys, for foundation, if you know how to abuse the calculator, just abuse it. Use everything for the calculator. Okay? Put it all in the calculator and just solve it using the calculator. Now, and the idea is I need you guys to understand the basic concepts. Algebra is very simple. The algebra is very simple. You need to understand how to do all of these in the case of, let me give you a question. Simplify this for me. Log of a m to the power of n plus log of a m, not m, x plus y to the power of 2. Simplify this for me. Yalla, can you use the calculator? I don't think you can. You see, that's the point. The idea is sometimes they can give you the things in variables and they will tell you to simplify this. So you will not be able to put just this and solve in the calculator because your answer will be in variables. To solve this, first thing I will see is, oh, I have log a, I have a power here, I have this, I have 2 here, and then just simplify it in my own way. طبعا this question makes no sense يعني no one would ask you a direct question like this. But the idea is you should know the rules. You should know in this case they have the same bases, so you know you can multiply if you have to. You know you can take the 2 outside, the n outside. You have to understand these basic rules of logarithms. إنزين. IJ مال وين? Which worksheet is that? Let us finish solving a bit of these, inshallah, and then I will try to solve some of your questions. Actually, that one is a good question. Worksheet 2. Man, the reason I didn't solve J is because you can plug that one in the calculator. Let me show you guys what he's talking about. So if you see in worksheet 2, question, or where did it go? Bismillah. كان هذا الوركشيت؟ هذا worksheet 1, sorry. In worksheet 1, he's talking about J over here. It says evaluate without using a calculator. في الامتحان عندكم calculator, you can solve all of these directly in the calculator. And my recommendation for easy things with numbers directly, do not bother doing the solving method completely. You have to be logical about it. يعني لازم يكون في منطق. We have a tool, we can use the tool, which is the calculator, plug it in directly in the calculator, make sure you're plugging it in correctly, and just solve until you find the final answer. I will do J, okay? I will do J just to show you how the solution will be as if we solve it manually. زين? But in general, if you can use the calculator, just use the calculator. I will always recommend using the calculator. It saves you a lot of time. But again, if you don't understand the concept, it will be very difficult for you to understand if the calculator is doing a mistake for you or not. But just for now, let's solve J, and then I will solve a few more questions, and then we can start with looking at previous exam questions and the sample questions. Okay? So J, we have 1 over 3 log 4, 24, plus 2 log 4, 25, minus 1 over 3 log 4, 3. Always the first step in cases like these is the logs, you want to simplify all of them. You don't want to have any coefficients multiplying to them. So you will just take these and make them powers, all of them. Okay, that is always going to be your first step. So log 4, 24 to the power of 1 over 3, plus log 4, 25 to the power of 2, minus log 4, 3 to the power of 1 over 3. That's your first step. Second step, if you have the same bases, yes, we do. This will become multiplication. This will become division. Log 4, 24 to the power of 1 over 3 times 25 to the power of 2 divided by, I'm just doing it all in one step, 3 to the power of 1 over 3. Put this in your calculator and you found your answer. Done. Man in Nagalo, don't use a calculator. But yeah, and that's it, and you're done. Okay? Yani it's the same concept exactly. It's the same idea. This is how you will be solving it. I don't see any other way of solving this without a calculator. Yani I'm trying to think of it a little bit, but there is, but it's not for your level without a calculator. Yani there it is, yani, but there's a lot of arithmetics, a lot of algebra you can do it. Okay, it says evaluate without using a calculator, so simplify first. So قصدهم do the simplifications بعدين حطوا simplification في الكالكوليتر. It's 5.14. You have done something wrong, Abdullah. 5.14. Double check. In the calculator, write it exactly this way. I think in the calculator, you'll have a big bracket here as well for the log. Did you put log base 4 ولا بس log? Did you put log base 4 ولا بس log? بدون اللوج. اوكي انزين. So يعني log 4 of 1 to 50. صح. بعدين الحين سوي log 4 of 1 to 50 to get your final answer. بيطلع لك 5 point something إذا مو غلطان 5.14 I think. Double check. Log base 4 1 to 50. Yep, 5.14. Then let's do a few more questions, or one more question from here. Let's look at a messy looking one. Let's look at this one. D. And then we will take a break, and then we will move on to solving the final. Just for people who don't know, today's session is extended till 5 because I want to go over past like the sample exams. And feel free if you want to leave after this session, it's fine. Okay, so first thing we check, bases. They're all the same. We know we can use the rules for all of them. They all have the same base. Now, Let's rewrite this. Log 5x minus log 5x plus 2 is equal to log 5x plus 6 minus log 5x. لو تلاحظون كل شيء x. كل شيء فيه x. زين. Since everything has x in it, it's very simple to solve, very direct. Group up everything. No, don't like move them around the equal. Just start solving the logarithmic way. So the same basis, this becomes division. وهني بعد this becomes division. Okay? So let's group them up because they all have x's inside. Log 5x divided by x plus 2. Okay, because we have minus in between. So equal to log 5. Again, just so you don't get confused, this is the 5x. This is the x plus 2. Then, same thing here. This is the x plus 6, and this is the x that we will divide. Log 5 x plus 6 divided by x. We have log 5 on both sides. We can cancel them out directly. بيبقى لنا equation 5x over x plus 2 is equal to x plus 6 over x. Cross multiply. 5x times x is equal to x plus 6 times x plus 2. 5x squared, because 5x times x is 5x squared, is equal to, let's distribute the x's first, then the 6. Distributing the x's will be x times x, which is x squared, x times 2, which is plus 2x, plus 6 times plus x is just plus 6x, and then plus 6 times plus 2 is plus 12. ربيعنا رجع, our best friend, a quadratic equation. Let's take this to the other side, so we get a 0. So 0 is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 2x plus 6x plus 12. If I'm just going to flip them, first of all, x squared minus 5x, this is just minus 4x. Minus 4x squared. Then, so minus 4x squared plus 2x. Actually, just let's simplify this. This and this is simply 8x. So plus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0. And then, inshallah, as soon as the session will be done, I will upload. Minus 4x squared plus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0. عندكم calculator. A is equal to minus 4. B is equal to 8. C is equal to 12. Plug it into the calculator. Mod 5, 3 minus 4, 8, 12 equals x1 is equal to 3 and x2 is equal to minus 1. Now, الحين أنا أباكم أنتوا تشغلون مخكم شوي. This is our solution. Let me copy paste the question down here again. This is our solution. x1 is equal to 3 and x2 is equal to minus 1. We only have one solution to this. Which one is rejected and why? The x minus 1 is rejected, or the x equal 3 is rejected? The 3 is the solution, or the minus 1 is the solution? 3. Why is 3 the solution and x minus 1 is rejected? Because it's negative, and not just because it's negative. لا. يعني we have to check it in here. If we substitute 3 back into any of these logs, into any of the x's here, then it will always be positive. But if we substitute the minus 1 in this one, or in the very first one, it will give us a log of a negative number, which is not possible. So this is rejected. Your final answer is x is equal to 3. Keep that in mind. لأن عندكم multiple choice. عادي, very, I expected that they will put both these answers in the multiple choice, but x2 is not correct. It's only x equal to 3 that is correct. تمام? Easy. Any questions before we take a break and start solving the questions for the math, for the sample questions. We will do sequences, and then we will do, I'll try to go very quickly through them. They're very straightforward. But before this, any questions again? Can you, like, I saw maybe a lot of questions I missed through the chat. If you have that question still, you can ask right now. I need to make sure everyone understands logs very well. As you can see, this is also supporting exponentials from yesterday. يعني المنطق, the basic concepts are very similar. Any questions at all? يعني any specific questions about how to solve anything like that? I will just say this one last time. To solve a logarithmic equation, we will see x power 3 or 3 power x. Just know instantly you have to apply ln or log. If you have log of a base x of a number like 5, just know here you have to change to exponential. Okay? These are the two most important things you need to know. Then, same thing if we have like log 5x. Change to exponential. All right? How do you solve ln questions? Just like we did for log, the exact same idea. The exact same concept we did for ln, for log, we're going to use for ln. Everything I did here, exactly same thing. Anything I used log for, you can use ln. Tamam? We will do the past exam as well, and it will be clarified more there, inshallah. All right. Before I take the break, I just want to let you guys, when we come back from this break, maybe a 10-minute break, in Zain. I will see now. I'll see. When we come back, we will do the arithmetic sequences and series problems. I will go through them very quickly, just the difficult ones I will do with you guys. And then we will do the logarithmic ones, and we'll try to finish. خلينا نقول, let's take a break. It's 3:37. Let's say till 3:50. Is that okay with you guys? 3:50, we come back. Is that okay? So break till 3:50. Then break till 3:50. And then we will start with questions for the final exam.